That's when, on November 25th, 21 days after John and Hannah's disappearance and over a month after Katie's death, detectives got a call from a South Carolina prison. But the caller wasn't just anyone. The call came from the cellmate of Charles Scott, John's army friend who was already in custody for an unrelated charge. Charles's phone had pinged near the abandoned house on the day Katie died, and his cellmate was about to provide a lead that could give detectives the breakthrough they desperately needed, with details only the killer could have known.
Just as we're talking today, is that Charles Scott you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. He told me that he had killed a girl, helped kill a girl with one of his buddies, named John, something like that. You know, they had put her in a drug house or an abandoned house, in the basement, in a box that takes two people to open. He was the one that coerced her to the spot where John come up behind her and got her, grabbed her. They met at a different location. When John got her, they put a knife to her. John stabbed her. I don't know how many times John stabbed her. He didn't say. He said he knows he stabbed her twice and John made him stab her twice. He actually said it scared him when he stabbed her at first, but then after he stabbed her, it made him feel a little better.
William's statements are shocking. His account of what happened closely mirrors the possible events of the night Katie died, and what he says next only grows more disturbing.
He said, well, this is the second time. The first time he told me about, you know, how he coerced her to come to the spot. Now that we're going to talk about something about John, trying to help John come off of marijuana, and John's on drugs real bad. After John grabbed her, they put her in John's Tahoe, red Tahoe, and took her to the scene.
So where did they say where they actually killed her at?
In the back of the Tahoe, on the tarp. I said, look, be honest with me. I said, have they took your DNA? He said, no. I said, well, that's a good thing. I said, your DNA at the crime scene. He said, they hadn't took my DNA, it's not going to be there.
All right. If you don't have anything else, Mark, we're going to go ahead and conclude the interview at 11:02 a.m.
Mark's statements put serious allegations on Charles. It wouldn't be anything special, as false accusations like this happen when inmates try to get a deal with officers or get their sentence lowered. But in this instance, too many details added up. Details only the killer or someone heavily involved could have known. One of those was his claim that Charles had lured Katie to a location near the abandoned house. For detectives, this suddenly made sense of why her car had been discovered just a few miles away, abandoned without a struggle. Charles also allegedly told his bunkmate that he and John wrapped Katie in a tarp to move her into the basement. This matched forensics, which had already indicated she'd been moved after death. Now detectives have a chilling theory of how that happened. It was now a very big chance for the detectives to possibly catch one of Katie's killers, a chance they couldn't afford to waste. So without hesitation, they brought Charles in, hoping for the biggest breakthrough in the case yet. But detectives knew getting Charles to talk wouldn't be easy. They didn't have enough evidence to pin him down, and they needed something, anything, that could make him slip. So they decided to take an insane risk. They came up with a plan to push him over the edge. They would bluff, pretending that John had already been arrested and was ready to testify against him. If Charles believed it, the pressure might finally make him talk.